I don't understand this rudeness. What is this? I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Do you all think that you're persuading people when you shout out like that? You don't trust me? Okay. I don't know what else I can do. I don't know what else I can do. If you want me to go home.
Wow.
And then they dragged a lady out of there. That was sort of feisty.
We're going to talk.
Missouri Senator Claire Mccaskill is an Obama campaign co-chair, and she's probably looking at those polls pretty closely at this point.
Senator, there's a new Suffolk University Political Research Center poll out, and it says it's no slam dunk. Hillary Clinton is ahead right now and maybe poised to win that state. Would that be bad for Barack Obama, since Indiana obviously borders his home state of Illinois?
Well, Evan Bayh has been out there working for Hillary Clinton in Indiana for weeks on end. She has had a significant amount of advertising in Indiana. I don't know who's going to win Indiana, but I feel comfortable that after all the votes are counted tomorrow, Barack Obama will once again end up, after tomorrow night, winning more delegates tomorrow than Hillary Clinton will.
All right, so what does he need to do, for example, in North Carolina, in order to keep his lead firm and to not let Hillary Clinton poke holes in his lead?
I need to get him out here to see the pigs that fly in Missouri.
No.
So do you think people that feed those pigs every day, that have to pay very high fuel prices, don't you think that a lot of people in Missouri would actually support this gas tax relief?
Honestly, Joe, I'm like Barack Obama. I'm from a small rural town in the Midwest. Barack Obama understands that people are smart enough to know that, one, this is an election year. This is a promise made as a gimmick for the election. Two, that lowering the gas tax doesn't mean the prices are going to go down. We've learned that across the country when states have tried to do it. Three, that it's going to cost jobs unless there's a tax against the oil companies. And we all know, unless you know some Republicans out there in the Senate that I'm not aware of that are willing to overturn a veto of President Bush taxing oil companies, what he's saying is, let's look at the speculators. It's not as clean in terms of a soundbite. It doesn't poll as well. But he's being honest with them about what can be done. We need to regulate the speculators more heavily. I think we'll be debating that in the next few weeks. That may have a shot. I think stopping putting oil and gas into these reserves, which we don't need right now, getting back into the supply, that may have a short-term impact that could be helpful. But what Barack Obama is not going to do, he's not going to make a phony promise just to get votes. That's why people are so sick of Washington. That's why people have been coming to his campaign by the droves and droves, because they are so glad that somebody is finally leveling with them and telling them the truth instead of playing games at election time.
Senator, how confident is the campaign that Barack Obama will take both of these states tomorrow night? Because if he doesn't, of course, it may feed into the narrative that's been out there that he just can't seem to close the deal, especially in some important states. Is there a strategy to combat that if that happens?
And it's very important that she try to convince everyone that this is tightening. But if you look at every measure, if he wins more delegates tomorrow night, he wins tomorrow night. He gets more superdelegates every week, regardless of what happens. He's getting more superdelegates. And as that continues, as we go on through West Virginia and Kentucky, Montana, Oregon, that's going to continue to happen. And when it's all settled at the first part of June, he will become the nominee by playing by the rules, getting the most delegates, winning the most delegates, and ultimately by getting the most superdelegates.
All right, Senator, sounds like a recipe for success. Thanks for being with us, Senator Claire Mccaskill.
You could see that these Democrats in Michigan and Florida will have a say in determining and selecting the party's nominee.
Well, all of us look forward to cheering our nominee with the delegates from Florida and Michigan, and all of us are confident that that will happen. We just have to make sure that we don't change the rules in the middle of the contest. The voters in Florida and Michigan are not at fault here. It was the leaders of their party that decided to go ahead and break the rules, and they knew when they were doing it they were breaking the rules, and we've got to play by the rules. I mean, after all, that's what our country is about.
I don't understand this rudeness. What is this? I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Do you all think that you're persuading people when you shout out like that? You don't trust me? Okay. I don't know what else I can do. I don't know what else I can do. If you want me to go home.
Wow.
And then they dragged a lady out of there. That was sort of feisty.
We're going to talk.
I honestly don't get it. Do you all think that you're persuading people when you shout out like that? You don't trust me? Okay. I don't know what else I can do. I don't know what else I can do. If you want me to go home.
An America defined by deep and meaningful equality, from civil rights to labor rights, from women's rights to gay rights, from ending discrimination. There are no acceptable limits, and there are no acceptable prejudices in the 21st century in our country.
We have a common task and a common challenge.
Why can't we see that we are all in this together?
18 million of you from all walks of life. Women and men, young and old, Latino and Asian, African American and Caucasian, rich, poor and middle class, gay and straight, you have stood with me. And I will continue to stand strong with you every time, every place, and every way that I can. The dreams we share are worth fighting for.